hot chocolate, you sexy thing. Speaking of sexy thing, we got
sexy things are over there.
Bruce Peterson in this.
They're the sexy things. I'm the old fart.
Oh, sorry, I got the wrong music bed there. Sorry.
Now get that straightened up right now.
Ooh, he said fart on the air.
Oh no! Noxious gas.
Good morning.
Good morning, Luke.
How are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
First,
next.
Why are you here?
It's the only time. It's the only time we're polite to each other. In the morning.
Basketballs.
Yeah. So, first day of April.
The Penguins just got killed last night.
I thought they won
5-0. April Fool.
Okay.
I had to use that.
Wasn't it 5?
April Fool.
Wasn't it 5-2?
You actually got him.
What? No, they won 5-2. I had to use that line today. I had to.
Oh, now I get it.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you get it.
Yes.
Now you get it.
That's April Fools.
Now you get it.
Now
That makes
God, he
sense.
got everybody. He had all of us.
Sorry. And he sat there and took it the whole time.
He did.
Look at the girls. The girls are like, look at it. We're all a bunch of suckers.
That's great one. That's a great one.
Feely just got everyone
Feely
in the room.
just got everybody. Come here, you got to see this. Feely walks in this morning. He has his shirt on. You know, and
Hillary!
he's changed his mind politically.
Yeah, and we're all just staring at him, right?
What the?
And he, you know what though? Good for him for not saying a word.
That's great. No, that was good.
He just sat there and just let us.
But if I hadn't had my joke, you wouldn't have got his
Absolutely,
joke.
yes.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you.
Wow. All right.
Wow, man. Happy spring, everybody.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Good job. Oh, see, Steph just called us fools. Thank you, sweetie.
That's great.
All right. Where do you want to start, Bruce?
Hey.
Actually, let's just go home.
We've already started.
Let's just go. We're done. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Later.
Well, we got to start with the Penguins. I mean, my goodness. I think it was 3 weeks ago you asked me, you said, what's the chances of the Pens making the playoffs? And what did I say? 50-50. Now they're number 2.
You weren't optimistic when you said it, though.
I was...
You were down.
Middle
You were down in the dumps.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks later, they're number 2 in the Metropolitan Division. So, yeah.
5-2 last night.
Yeah, I watched that game. Yeah, I mean, they're just literally running over teams. They just literally...
So, what right now, what do you see as their weakness?
I don't see one. I mean, I really don't. They're just playing well on defense. They're playing well on offense. Their goaltending's great. They're just running over teams.
Last year at this time, it seemed like the discussion was, are they going to have enough energy to finish things out? Do you see that energy, any injuries, anything like that that's going to stop these guys?
Well, this year, they got so many young players. I mean, they've got about 7 or 8 players pretty much up from Wilkes-Barre. They're a much younger team. And they got mojo going now. I mean, they just really got their mojo going. And best I've seen them play since 2009 when they went to the Cup. This is the best I've seen them play. And really, Rutherford has just turned the roster over, other than the big stars. And they've been doing this, Luke, without Malkin. I mean, Malkin hasn't played for 2 weeks. They've pretty much this whole streak has been without him. And it's like they don't even miss him. Now, and they're going to get him back. He will come back if they get to the end of the first round of the playoffs. He'll be back, so he's going to be gone for a while. But they've got a lot of good young.
Are they going
players.
to want him back at that point?
Well, there's people on the blog saying they should trade him. No, you don't trade Malkin.
Okay.
But they've won 10 out of their last 11, and they're 12-4 in the month of March, and then they've got 6 games left. They play Saturday. They play in New York at the Islanders in Brooklyn, and then they come home Sunday. And their last home game is actually Sunday against the Flyers. So 2 more points, they are sure to be in the playoffs. So the next game they win, then they'll be in the playoffs, officially. So.
All right, excellent.
Yep. Do you want to
Yeah.
review the roster now? The Pirates have not finalized their roster. They're down to like the last position. But the big surprise this year was Nicasio. This is the first page. Yep, there we go. Larry and Cole, their top two pitchers. Nice is a player they picked up from the Mets, and then Nicasio has beat Vogelsong out for the 5th spot in the rotation, and he had a terrific spring. I think he had 24 strikeouts. So that's the big surprise this year. It puts Vogelsong's going to be in the bullpen, and then next page, Melanson, Watson, and Hughes. Hughes is going to start the season off in the disabled list. He has a strained lat, so he'll be out for a couple weeks.
Describe that again. Do that again.
Lat. Strained.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Strained lat.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And then the new ones this year are Fillets. He's a former closer with Dallas, who's had a good spring. And then there's the two L players, Lobstein and Lepke, are both left-handers, which made the team this year. And Lepke was a great pitcher for San Diego, and then he was hurt a couple years. He had arm surgery, and now he's back, and they're hoping he's going to be good in the. Okay, this is the two guys they will probably be bringing up sometime this year. Tyon and Glasnow, both really terrific young players. The next one to be our catchers. Cervelli and Stewart will be the catchers this year. Then our infielders. The big change this year is Jaso's at first base. They brought in Inman from Tampa Bay. He's a good hitter and hopefully a better fielder than Alvarez. Harrison has moved to second. Mercer's at short, and then Kong, who's going to start on the disabled list. They picked up Freeze, who is a third baseman with the Angels last year, and he's a good hitter, and he'll be a good fill-in. These are backup players, Rodriguez, Morris. Morris is a big power hitter. Floreman. It's either going to be Floreman or Figueroa for that final position. They're both backup infielders. The thing about Figueroa is he can catch, so that might get him on the roster. Then we go to the outfield. Of course, Marte, McCutcheon, and Polanco. This is the strength of the Pirates. Look, this is where their offensive production is going to come this year. They picked up Matt Jones, a good hitter. He played last year with the Angels, and he's been a nice addition. And so he'll be a left-handed bat, and they don't have a lot of left-handed bats, so that's where his strength is going to be off the bench. And this is their lineup. They've switched. Jaso's going to bat first. They're going to move McCutcheon from third to second, which is interesting. And the reason they're going to do that is because too many times he would come to the plate with nobody on base, so and 2 outs. So this place, he's going to get a chance to have more production. Right now, Freeze is going to bat third. Marte is going to bat fourth. Polanco fifth. Harrison, the second baseman, sixth. Cervelli seventh, and Mercer eighth. When Kong comes back, that lineup will be adjusted. So
here's your outlook, Bruce. This is what you're predicting.
Yep, 90-plus win season. We'll see Tyon and Glasnow before probably June or July. And then also there's a good chance we'll see Josh Bell and Alan Hansen. So they've got 4 really good young players right on the cusp of the major leagues. So things are looking very bright. And below those 4, the minor league system is really loaded with young talent. So
the big prediction?
They're going to be in the playoffs. Whether they'll be wild card or they'll win the division, it's hard to tell. That's a toughest
and you have here
division in baseball.
Strong contender for first place Central
strong
Division.
Contender. And so I'm going to say probably they'll be in the wild card game. That's probably where they'll be. And there'll probably be 3 teams out of that division this year in the playoffs. That's a strong division. And the Cubs have really made themselves better, but sometimes teams regress a little bit in their second year when they become a playoff team. So we'll see. And Cardinals will be tough.
But overall, it sounds like a really good season.
Oh yes, they're stocked with good players. They just don't have any weaknesses. And with Nicasio having this wonderful spring, I mean, that's really solidified. We're hoping that he can carry that through the season.
So good depth this year. Somebody goes down.
Oh, very good depth. Not only on the bench, but in the minors. They've got 3 or 4 players in the minors which can be brought up to play. Like I said, Josh Bell and Hanson, a first baseman and second baseman, are right on the edge of becoming major leaguers.
Excellent.
There's a nice story, but maybe about a week ago, that talked about the Pittsburgh's farm club system, and they were talking about the talent, not just the players, but the coaches and those scouts who are spotting these players and getting these guys. They've just been tremendous over the last several years.
They have a really good presence down in the islands, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Colombia. They're just Polanco and Marte are both from down there. They both came from down in the islands or South America, and their minor league system is loaded with players. And they just they've started drafting a lot more pitchers out of high school, and like Glasnow is a high school pitcher, and they're harder to project because you don't know how much they're going to grow and get stronger. And Glasnow actually increased his arm speed significantly from the time he was drafted out of high school until now. Now he's like high 90s. He's going to be a great pitcher in the majors. So, yeah, they do have a great farm system.
We're here with Bruce Peterson. 8:50 is our time. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. All right, anything else in baseball?
Well, they're going to come north today. In fact, they're done with spring training, and they're going to fly to Indianapolis. They're going to play an exhibition game on Saturday at Indianapolis. And then they're going to fly home Sunday, and Sunday is the opening game. I can't remember the last time that the opening of the season was on a Sunday.
I think they said this was the first time.
Yeah.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Wow, cool.
Very unusual that they're opening the season on Sunday. And they're against St. Louis, against their yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And I see that the Penguins moved the time of their game to 5 o'clock to avoid the fans watching baseball because Root Sports will broadcast both of them. I think Root Sports is doing the team. So I thought that was interesting.
So back-to-back coverage.
Be back. Yeah, you'll have the Pirates at 1, and you'll have the Penguins at.
Very nice.
Yeah, and against the Flyers on Sunday. So the St. Louis baseball, Flyers, hockey.
Wow.
That's be a great sports day in Pittsburgh.
I know what I'm doing
least.
that Sunday.
Well, if you haven't been watching the Penguins, you got to watch the Penguins. They are exciting. They really are exciting. And then we have March Madness. This is the final weekend for March Madness. We have on Saturday we have Villanova in Oklahoma. Villanova's kind of a surprise team this year. And then the second game is North Carolina versus Syracuse. So that's Syracuse is a number 10 seed. They upset a couple teams on the way. And so in the Final Four, there'll be 2 number 2s, a number 1, and a number 10. So my pick is going to be Oklahoma and North Carolina for the finals on Monday. That's my pick. Any other picks here? Any other basketball fans here?
The opposite, too.
You're going with Villanova and Syracuse. That's good. The underdogs. They great defense. I do, and Villanova has that great shooter. Yeah, you're right. Those teams could pull upsets, but I just don't see anybody beat North Carolina. I could be wrong.
Yeah, great team. So
okay. So that'll be a fun time on Monday night. We go from the great Pittsburgh Sunday with the Pirates and the Penguins, and then we go right into Monday to March Madness. And the Steelers have signed a couple of other players. They had picked up Green a while back, the tight end from San Diego. Then they signed Ryan Harris, the offensive tackle from Denver. Now they've signed Steven Johnson, a linebacker. He'll be a backup from the Titans. And he's also a good special teams player. And they just signed Ricardo Matthews, a defensive end from the Chargers. And good against the run, but he'll be a rotational player. He's not a starter, but he'll probably start behind Hayward on the right side. So they're developing depth now for their roster.
You see, with some of these pickups, are you looking at what the Steelers are looking at in terms of where they might have some trouble spots?
Well, the draft is going to be all about the defense. It's going to be all about cornerback, safety, defensive tackle. That's the three areas they're going to draft, and they could draft more than one safety or cornerback.
Saw a story earlier this week, Bruce, that discussed the Steelers looking for a quarterback. They're going to be needing to do that here soon. And the question was, how long is Ben going to last?
Well, he's got 3 years left on his contract, and the owners come out and said he thinks he's got at least 4 more good years in him at top performance. So that'll take him 4 years. Will take him to 2019.
And then he should have, 4 or 5 Peyton Manning type years?
Yeah.
Where he's not very good?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Manning's problem was all of his Nick operations decreased the strength of his arm. That was his problem. And I don't know if Ben will have that problem, but just ask yourself, how long does he want to play? If they win a couple more championships, he may say it's time to go, get down the dusty trail and play golf.
When you're looking at 4 years with this guy, okay, at least a solid 3 to 4 years, right?
Right.
I mean, of course, you'd like to win a championship or Super Bowl each year, but that's not going to happen. So, is he going to try to get at least one more?
Well, if you look at the Steelers right now, they're putting all their money in to win the next 3 years. They've built their offensive line. This is the best offensive line that they've had since probably the 70s. They have a great wide receiver core. They have a great offense. And so what is his strength? He's an offensive player. So they've built this really juggernaut offense. If they can get a good defense to go with him, they're going to be in the hunt the next 3 years to go to the Super Bowl, barring major injuries. And what you got to give the Steelers credit for is they've really managed the salary cap well. You can't have star players at every position. You have to have some star players, but you have to have a lot of good, solid fill-in players that can take your team over the hump. And Pittsburgh's done that. And they've also got depth. I've been watching their signings this year. A lot of these signings are to give the team depth. So if you got somebody get hurt, you got somebody who can step in and play. And they got a lot of youth on the defense, which to me is the strength of the team right now. Is the defense in the next couple of years is going to get a lot better. They put a lot of draft picks on the linebacker. They have 4 number 1 picks. They have a couple of hot picks at defensive end, and now if they can fill in that secondary, that's their weakness. They're going to be very good the next 3 years. And if you look at the offense, all the players are signed for the next 3 years. So they've really set up for the end of Ben's career to be a really good team because they know how good he really is.
It sounds like they've really done their homework on this.
Well, the Steelers always do their homework. I mean, they haven't had a losing season since, was it 2003 was the last time they had a losing season?
Wow.
2003. That's not too bad. And that's the only losing season they've had in the 2000s was 2003. I think they were 6-9 or something like that. But or 7-9, or no, 6-10. They were 6-10 that year. Yeah. So the future looks bright for all the Pittsburgh teams. Right now, all the Pittsburgh teams are on championship runs. The Penguins, and now with their new coach, and let's say the new coach is the reason they're winning. This guy's terrific, really terrific. And you got a great management team with the Steelers, and you got a great management team with the Pirates. So it's a great time to be a sports fan. And you remember how Pittsburgh got the name City of Champions? Because they won the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the Stanley Cup the same year. That's how they got that name. So could be back to being the City of Champions again. So
well, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. So we're kind of spoiled, aren't we? I mean, we really are. When you think about it, I mean, you think a lot of teams there's still teams out there that have never been to the Super Bowl ever, and don't have a lot of chance. Like there's a team over in Ohio that has never been to the Super Bowl. I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to think which team.
The Northern Ohio up there on the lake. That team up there on the lake in Ohio.
The Cavs.
Yeah, that's it. No, they've won a championship. They've won a championship. No, they're a good team. No, it's that other one.
Oh, no. Wait, no. The Cavs are the only professional team.
No, the Browns. The Browns.
Yeah.
I hate to rag on the Browns, but
I feel bad for Browns fans. I really do.
I do too. I know Mark doesn't, but I feel sorry for them because I remember when the Browns used to be a great organization. And they were like the Steelers are now. They were a great team.
All right, Bruce, anything else you can think of? A lot of information today. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's an exciting time. And that game last night, oh, what a game that was. That was a terrific game. Watching the Penguins now is a very exciting time. They have a tendency to get behind, like the night before, the game before, they got behind 3-0, came back, won 5-4. So they sometimes have you a little bit.
Yeah, but that was exciting, wasn't it?
It is when they come back like that. Yeah.
All righty, Mark, what'd you learn today or this week?
That there may be a coffee bar coming to the library.
Really? That's great.
Coffee.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. I get it. Coffee.
Yeah.
COFFE.
That's a different kind
job,
of bar.
the stuff you
Although
brew
Bruce
with
is
tea.
from Pleasantville. It's a dry town.
We're a dry town.
Yeah.
We can't drink in Pleasantville.
Bruce, what'd you learn?
Driving in today, this is April 1st, driving in today, I was really surprised by all the bushes along the side of the road are all turning green already, which is very early.
Yeah.
For April. Usually
In
that doesn't happen
Pennsylvania.
until the middle
All right.
of April.
Guys, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. See you Monday. Thank you. Time to get out of here, right?
Down the road.
In the summer of 53, his mother brought him a sister. And she told him, we must attend to her needs. She's so much younger than you. Well, he ran down the hall and he cried. Oh, how could his parents have lied when they said he was an